you today? How you doing? I've missed you. My name is Jackie, for those of you who don't know me. I am with the Financial Literacy Tribe, and for today, I'm coming at you with a brand new video. Okay? Get excited. Get ready. It's happening. Am I the only person in the world who sometimes wishes that they had a time machine and that they could go back in time and fix the major financial boo-boos that they have done in the past? Am I the only one? Am I the only person? I'm bringing to you my top financial mistakes, things that I wish that I had not done so that you don't have to do them. Let's jump right in. I'm gonna need a glass of wine for this one. I wish that I had gotten into the habit of saving so much earlier than I actually did. I feel like that saving is one of those things where it's like once you get into the habit of it, you're able to achieve so much more. It was the cause of me getting into debt. I had talked to you guys and mentioned before that I had accumulated so much in terms of debt, and I feel like a lot of that came from the fact that I had this mentality where any spare dollar that I had after my bills were paid, I could just spend it. I could go out to eat. I could buy shoes. I could buy clothes. I could buy whatever it is that I want to. I could go out with my friends and have a good time. If I had just treated savings like a bill and just automatically put away 10%, we'll just say, of everything that I made, starting from day one, starting from my very first job, I feel like all of those habits and a lot of that debt would not have existed. It is just such a good, healthy financial habit to get into. And so honestly, like, it's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I had started doing it from day one. So don't be like me and just get into the habit of being a saver. You don't have to save all of the money that you make, but from your very first paycheck, as soon as you start working, if you just put away 10% of your money and don't touch it unless it's an emergency, trust me, you will thank me. My number 2 biggest financial mistake was not strategizing my college plan in terms of how I was going to pay for college. I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a nurse, so I knew that college was unavoidable. In order for me to get my nursing license, I had to go to nursing school. It's just like a requirement. But I really wish that I had sat down and kind of strategized what was going to be the less financially burdensome way to get from point A to point B instead of what was going to be the easier way to get to point A to point B. Right? So for me, I just wanted to go to a college that was close and was going to just get me my diploma like as soon as possible. And I didn't care about anything else. If I had just done my research, mistake numero uno, if I had just done my research, I would have figured out that I could have attained that same nursing degree by going to community college. And the community college in my area also offered a buttload of scholarships. So it would have been a way more economical choice for me. And I would have definitely still gotten to my end result. I would have gotten there, but I would have gotten there with far less in terms of student loan debt. I still kick myself to this very day for not doing it that way. So don't be like me. Make sure that you are strategizing in terms of college costs or any major purchase in your life. Always, always, always think about what's going to be the long-term financial burden for what it is that you're doing, and is there a way to mitigate those costs? My next biggest financial regret is definitely getting into the habit of getting into debt. Student loan debt aside, I was one of those people that loved instant gratification, baby. I loved having what I wanted now. Not waiting, now. And having that mentality has been so toxic in my life because it allows you to just rack up a ridiculous amount of debt for literally no reason. Like, could I not have just saved up for those Air Force Ones? Could I not have just saved up for those gigantic oversized hoop earrings with my name on them that everybody was rocking in the 2000s? Could I not have just saved for those items instead of putting them on a credit card? Of course I could have. And it could have saved me a mountain of grief. So definitely my biggest regret is just getting so comfortable with racking up that little credit card of mine at such an early age. It feels so much better to just save for the things that you want. It feels so much better to just be able to pay for them outright and not having that burden of debt and interest looming over your shoulders 24/7. Trust me. My last financial regret is more of like a lesson that I wish that I had learned sooner. It is something that I have now accepted in my oldish age. But it's something that I wish that I had really known about and processed earlier on, which is don't ever let somebody borrow something, an object, money, or whatever, that you need or fully require or fully anticipate getting back. It is not always going to happen for you. It doesn't matter how trustworthy that individual is. Sometimes things just happen that are outside of people's hands. You should not let people borrow money that you need back. You should not let people borrow items or objects that you need back because you're not always going to get them back. I honestly hardly ever let people borrow money anymore because I just know 9 times out of 10 I'm probably not going to get it back. I think that speaks to not necessarily saying that that person is a bad person. Sometimes people are just in such dire straits themselves that they're not able to pay it back. I don't know, but that's just a rule of thumb. I never give somebody money with the expectation that I'm going to get it back. And that lesson, again, it also subscribes to objects too. I will never forget my very first car that I loved. It was like this little crappy coupe Honda Civic in like this like electric green color. I was so fabulous in the early 2000s. But anyway, it was like my love was that car. Her name was Lexus. She was not a Lexus. Anyway, I let my older stepsister borrow the car. She was literally just going to the grocery store, which is like around the corner, and it got totaled. She got into a car accident and it got totaled. And my stepdad was a total jerkwad and was like, I'm not paying for that car. You shouldn't have let her borrow it if you wanted it back. It speaks to my family issues back in the day. But anyway, the point is, I learned that lesson early on. Obviously, it was not my stepsister's fault that had happened. Obviously, these were, circumstances that were outside of our control. But my point is you shouldn't let other people borrow things when you expect and anticipate to get them back. Just don't. So, lesson learned. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's tips. Certainly, if you did, feel free to hit that like button and feel free to subscribe if you are not already currently subscribed to my channel. Be sure to check out my blog, which is available at focusedfrugalfab.com. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!